Hi, and welcome back to KK Cabaret, where we talk all things vintage, crafting, glamour, all the things that are going on in my life currently, or things that I'm doing and participating in. We are sitting outside. We're trying a new surrounding because remember I told you right now my filming area is currently a puppy kennel. I'm not too excited about it. I'm actually really nervous about it, but we are doing what we can do. Though it is a little breezy, we're gonna see what we do about sound. If I record this and it's trash, I'm just trashing it and I'll re-record it and release something Friday. But I'm hoping that this works. I am wearing a very appropriate thrifted vest with little kitty cats and yarn because today we are going to talk about everything that I made this month in June that has been fiber arts. So this will be my monthly breakdown of my knitting, my crochet, my little fiber arts crafts. I'm going to go through works in progress, finished objects, acquisitions, and I think that's it. Yeah. So let's go through finished objects, things that I've made so far this month. Crochet. Actually, you know what? Let's do knitting because I only have one knitted thing that's a finished object this month. And that is my Springaween, Summerween socks that I finished the day before summer solstice. So I'm so excited that I finished them in time. It's kind of silly. These socks took me forever to complete this pair of socks. I remember buying this yarn last year for Socktober. I never knitted them because the pair that I started in Socktober, I finished in December. I casted on this pair, finished one sock in January, started the second sock and never finished it until June. Don't judge me. So this is my first finished object. I had used two different kinds of yarns. This one is Patton's Zebra, I think. This one is I don't remember where I got this one, so it kind of sucks. But I think I bought it on Etsy because I was looking for something candy corn. And yeah, so my goal with those was finish them for my Springaween collection, at least finish them before summertime starts because there's this creator on YouTube who does a summer sock camp, and it's Kayla Litton, I think, is Crazy Sock Lady, and that's the sock patterns that I always use right now is Crazy Sock Lady vanilla socks. So that's what these were, but with a different variegated heel toe cuff. So I figured I would join her little Crazy Sock summer camp and just make as many socks as possible. We'll get into that in a little bit. The next finished object that I crocheted is I made this cute little bucket hat. I didn't use a pattern. I just looked at a picture online. It's out of loops and threads, I believe, 100% cotton, and it's like a textured cotton. So it's really cool, and it kind of looks like raffia. That's kind of the look I was going for, was something beachy and raffia, and I wore it to the beach for National Knit in Public Day. In Seal Beach, me and my daughter went to Knit in Public Day. That was super fun. If I have some pictures or anything like that, I'll pop them in here. I will definitely pop in pictures of me wearing this along with this adorable little vest made out of the same material, cotton, and I put little seashell boobies. And I added little charms they're like little seashell charms to the end of the ties. And I wore this over my swimsuit. It was super, super cute. I got lots of compliments on it at the Knit in Public and at the knitting store. It was just super cute. I loved it. I, again, will pop in pictures. The funny thing is I'm a very light-skinned gal. I wore a nude bathing suit. My partner and everyone was like, "You look naked." So that's fun. That's beachy. This was my finished objects. Next is stash busting stuff that I was just honestly, all of this was yarn I had that I wanted to crochet through so that I didn't have so much yarn. Now this one, I went into like ponchos and glittery yarns, sequensy yarns, we'll say. And I found a like YouTube video on ponchos. I watched it and loosely created this based off of it. It's not exactly like hers because I never ever follow a pattern or do anything exactly like someone says. So I ended up casting on or chaining too many, and it's really wide. But I also didn't do double, she does like double treble crochets, and I didn't do that because I wanted these like little hexagon-y looking, I wanted it to look like a fishnet, but like a glamorous fishnet. If you can't see all my sequencies. And yeah, I will pop in some video of me wearing that one. Again, this is crocheted loops and thread bamboo rayon with a sequins yarn that I got on Amazon. And that took a month to come to me, so I'm assuming that came from a different country. Next. Again, this was a video on YouTube, and I barely followed it. Because once I kind of got the gist of what was happening, I was like, okay, now I'm going through with my own plans. But this is like a two squares into a poncho. This side's open. This side's closed. And you kind of just let it like fall off the shoulder. I like the glitter in this one, and I love this color. Guys, look at green. I love it. I will pop in a video of me wearing it. I just wish that my videos would catch how glittery this is because it's so like sequency, and honestly, like this is the same kind of yarn as that one, so it's bamboo rayon, and the sequence yarn is cotton, so it's super flowy and super drapey, which I wanted. And I've been obsessed with like sequency things. So I joined in on that club and made 2 ponchos for myself. And then I acquired, we're going to kind of like bounce all over because I'm not like the best at organizing things, and we know that. I acquired some red, white, and blue yarn for my toddler, and this sequensy yarn that kind of reminds me of fireworks, and I'm going to make her a poncho for 4th of July. And I just thought that would be kind of cute. This is acrylic, and it's nothing like that I'm worried she's going to ruin, which is why I went with acrylic, obviously. So that'll be fun. That's crocheting. Next is knitting. Well, I showed you my finished object knitting. So I guess next we'll just do acquisitions, and then I'll do works in progress, since I just showed you the red, white, and blue yarn for 4th of July for my daughter. So I have gotten really into socks. And that's kind of what sparked my wanting to knit again. Was I watched this video on like 1940s war effort and how they were knitting socks to send to the soldiers overseas, and also like, you know, in Europe, I think in London they were doing this. We're gonna hear a car. In London and stuff, they were doing this for World War II. And they were knitting socks. And I think I watched a YouTuber a few years ago. She was like a historian, and she knitted socks on vintage knitting needles from a vintage war effort pamphlet. I was like mesmerized, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to knit socks. And so when I got back into knitting, that's what I was doing. I was knitting socks. So obviously that's the 2nd pair of socks I've ever knit. I'm already working on my 3rd pair. I had told you I'm joining the knit along for summer, which is socks. But I do wanted to show you like my acquisitions. So give me 1 second. So I told you I got into socks, and then I found, well, the crazy sock lady was how I like relearned knitting, like into the socks and everything like that. Was just like became kind of a little obsession. And then also vintage knitting, right, is my goal to do like some of Squidney knits. And I have like a home front jumper, which is like her basic, like her main pattern that she's known for, that I started, and I just can't finish it. So I'm trying to like gain some skills before I'm able to finish it. Socks, color work socks. I have kind of found Charlotte Stone, which is Stone Knits online. and I bought both of her books, and now I want to make colorwork socks. It's the Fiber Fair. So I bought yarn for the Fiesta Fruits, I think, socks, and I have that pattern. So I'm gonna do those. Those are gonna be like my next socks coming up after the socks that I'm making right now. I want to do these socks. I don't know if I want to do these ones, but you guys, let me show you some that might, okay, so look at how vintage that looks. So cute. A cup of coffee. There was like some, oh God, look at the little hens. Okay, so basically I follow her now on Instagram and on YouTube, and she's the cutest little person I've ever seen. She does so many cute things, but this one has like kitty cats on him, which of course, and then I saw dogs too. There's dogs. So I'm going to do all the animals. But in order to do this, I needed more sock yarn, right? I did. I know I needed more sock yarn because this is like colors, and I only had like, I think I have a few like basic sock yarns, like patterns. I have a couple. I have like a purple set and a green set to make some patterns wool socks. I have 2 acrylic sock yarns that are like to make them look like kiwi fruits and dragon fruits, which I do plan on making this summer as part of the summer sock camp. But colorwork socks, I don't have these basic colors. I don't have basic colors. So Knit Picks had a sale, and their sock yarn, which I think is called Stroll, I had to look up what it would be like sock yarn, you know. Who has good sock yarn? Everyone talks about Knit Pick Stroll so far. So I got a box of yarn, and they're these cute little 50-gram balls of yarn. And I know some knitters are going to tell me, Kayla, you probably shouldn't have even invested in all that, because what if you don't end up liking colorwork socks? I not only invested in yarn, I invested in some needles that are good for colorwork socks. So we're going to test it out, and you guys are going to like find my little journey in this. That was probably my toddler running around. In sock knitting. Look at cherry red. Actually, it's called strawberry red, but cherry socks. Yeah, so I got a bunch of colors. I pretty much went through the rainbow and what was in stock, and I got a couple of each. And the only reason I could do that was because it was on sale. And I don't really like buying things, like a ton of things, especially if I can't see it. But I did it because it was on sale. So I got this like pale blue, like bright blue, whatever I could find that they had that was like, I could do really good contrasty, really cute socks. I didn't spend too much, trust me, but I wanted to get a few like different colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple types of things. And then I got these ones are brown. These were what they had in stock. When I went back online, they had a few more that weren't tweed. So then I was like, okay, whatever. But these little ones are called Dalmatian, and this one's like a farmhouse tweed. My 2 favorite colors are like pink and green, so I had to get those. This one is called Pumpkin. You guys know I had to get pumpkin. Yeah, and so I just got a box of yarn, all Stroll. There's the wind. Let's see if you can still hear me. All Stroll, all sock yarn to make adorable colorwork socks is my goal. This summer, I'm gonna do Summer of Socks. I'm also working, now we'll get to works in progress. So I'm also working on a few things. I'm working on socks. What I was doing was trying to get through the sock yarn that I already had before I started my cute colorwork socks, right? So this is the sock yarn I bought during the yarn crawl. And these are gonna be my yarn crawl socks. And then the next set that I'm doing is gonna be my Fiberfest socks. So I've already finished one and I'm working on the second one. I can't wait to finish these ones and cast on my first ever colorwork socks. That's my first work in progress. Second work in progress. this cute little bag that I also got at the Fiber Fest. So this is called the Crystal Shawl, and me and my daughter both have it, and we're both working on it. This is, I'll tell you right now, the yarn, because it's right here. Harriet Fine and Lang sequins yarn. The Crystal Shawl, like I said, and this color is Wasabi, which I think is super cute, but tell me it's not giving kind of Grinchy vibes. It's kind of Grinchy. Actually, you can tell I like green because my wall is green. But I'm into it. I can't wait to be finished with it. I have a thing to talk about with works in progresses after I'm done with this. But yeah, it's all kind of like a mess rolled up into this little bag right now that I will sort out later. That is my second work in progress. It's a small thing that I can take with me portably. I have bags on bags now. Well, I've always had bags, but now I just have bags full of projects. This is my next one. I don't remember the name of it, but I know it's a Sari Nordland for hobby yarn pattern, and it's supposed to be a tank top. So right now it is just triangles, and I thought I had more of this done, actually. I'm not joking. Yeah, right now it's just triangles waiting to be finished into a tank top, and the bottom hem is like a wave pattern, a wave lace pattern. When I find the pattern, I will pop it up right here. It's designed to use hobby yarn, but I already had that bamboo yarn that's in the same weight. It's just totally different fiber content, and I'm just messing around and being really experimental with it. In the end, I live in California and I would love to have a rayon tank top, so that'll be fine. And lastly, my work in progress is this show me your colors. Show your colors striped tee by Sari Nordland, which I did have the paper in here, but again, I'll just pop up a picture or something over here, which I'm actually almost done with this. But I realized, first off, it's not blocked, and so it does look very tiny, even, but like I stretched it out and I tried it on and everything. But here's the thing. This is the last striping sequence, and even after it blocks and everything, I don't think that's going to go over my tatas. Like, or if it does, this is going to look insane. So I'm actually, and I did a gauge swatch and everything. I'm kind of sad about this. I'm going to do another striping sequence before I bind off because I just don't trust it. I really don't trust the process right now. And I want it to be something I will wear. I'm calling it my strawberry matcha because of the colors in it. Very matcha-y. And I'm using the same needles, the same yarn that she used. So we'll see how it comes out. We're just gonna, this is an experiment too. It's my first like t-shirt. It's really like, I only did it because I thought I could be really creative with it and artistic with it while being able to follow a tutorial because there's a tutorial to it. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it blocks out. And then hopefully in the next video by the end of July, I have all of these finished because here's my thing. I am better as a monogamous knitter. I like having socks always going because they're on the go, but I don't like having this many projects. And this isn't even a lot. I've seen people with 11 projects going. I can't do that. I'm not that person. So I want to finish this stripe top and then this tank top, then my shawl. And then from then on, I will only be working on socks and then another project, like a t-shirt or something, like a top. But I don't want to be doing this anymore. This is not only confusing, it's overwhelming to my brain. And I like being able to finish something. I finish things better when I'm working on just that. So since I figured that out in this little beginning and exciting time of knitting, yeah, I'm just going to do monogamous knitting, not like a million projects going at once. So this was my tiny little catch up of fiber arts and what I'm doing. I do have a couple things planned, like I want to do the rose top. It's a knitted pattern, and I think that's going to be next once I'm done with all this. I'm going to do the rose top, and then like I said, I'm just going to keep casting on socks and doing socks all summer long. I even have winter and like fall and winter socks planned. So we're never going to stop seeing socks, I think. And then I have a skirt. I want to do a Sorry Not a Lynn skirt that I'm hoping I could finish all this by the Fiber Fest. And then next year is like my big year where I want to be like definitely deep into vintage knitting. So I'm starting off with like DK weights, and that's actually a fingering weight. Actually, most of the things I'm doing are still fingering weight, but like that one, the rayon is a DK weight, and I'm doing DK weight projects right now. Yeah, just getting going, guys. Like getting going on my, this is part of my resolution too, was getting real into knitting and honing in that craft so that I could do vintage knitting. So I'm very excited because now I've been consumed by that. I do have a couple of crochet projects that I haven't shown you that I want to do. I want to do this seashell purse to match my beach pajamas that I'm going to be sewing up, which I haven't finished. This month in June, I did finish 2 dresses, by the way. I did post a video on it. It's in the beginning of the month. Next month, I do plan on doing at least 2 garments. I made like a plan in my planner on when to do them and when they're due by, my summer sewing. I kind of simplified it down. I did go extreme for a second, and then I simplified it down. And we're going to get the beach pajamas, the little 3-piece suit, that's going to look very like Sahara Desert suit, and the wrap dress for sure. And then we'll see what else I get into before Shirtwaist September, because I have 2 dresses planned for that if we get through the summer sewing. So please stick around. This weekend is Crash the Party's anniversary party in Whittier, and me and my daughter are going, and then it's also 4th of July. So if you guys are celebrating, I have dogs and they hate 4th of July, so I technically just want to be with them in the evening. But if you guys are celebrating, please be safe and enjoy family time. I will post a vlog all about Crash the Party's little adventure that me and my daughter are going on, and I will see you guys. Also, Dapper Day LA is coming on the 11th or 12th, and so there will be a vlog about that too, a vintage vlog. So please keep your eye out for all those things, all the fun stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one.